2NURFM News. For our sponsor, Tile Warehouse Warners Bay, the large floor tile specialists.
It's 1 o'clock good afternoon. I'm Thandi Chindove with 2NURFM Hunter News. A new small grant will be available for hunter organizations following the announcement of this year's budget. The Stronger Communities program will deliver $150,000 to fund small capital projects which are expected to benefit the community. Paterson MP Bob Baldwin says applications from within his electorate will need to be made online before undergoing a review process.
It will come through the department on an online application and then back to my office for the independent committee to review all the applications and make recommendations to the Minister.
The future of Newcastle shipbuilder Forjax hangs in the balance as the Senate committee is recommending the federal government take immediate action to reduce the impact of the so-called Valley of Death. 160 workers are to be laid off, with fears hundreds more will be lost as a major contract dries up for Forjax. The committee has recommended the tender process for 2 new supply ships be opened up to give Australian companies a chance to apply. A work cover inspector has attended the levee in Maitland, raising issues to council as construction to the site continues. Slippery tiles, unsafe walkways and traffic hazards related to a pedestrian crossing are reportedly among the concerns brought to council's attention. Maitland MP Peter Blackmore says members of the community should speak up if they have any safety concerns.
We have 2 engineers that are engaged, and I know that they do make themselves available to talk to the general public. If anybody has a concern about any safety matter regarding the levee or any project which council is doing in the city, by all means, come forward and mention it.
Hunter schools will soon be receiving new classes teaching students to recognize the signs of domestic violence and how to respond to it. The addition to the PDHPE curriculum comes as the state government announced its new plans to help educate young people on what is a widespread issue. Wallsend MP Sonia Hornery says while education is important, the government needs to be taking more steps towards eliminating domestic violence. A significant number of Newcastle communities have been officially added to the National Broadband Network Rollout Plan. While previous NBN announcements had failed to include Newcastle suburbs in the plan, a detailed update confirmed the addition of suburbs in Newcastle for the first time, including Thornton, Stockton and Adamstown. This is a significant win for residents who have campaigned to be added to the rollout plan. In the lead up to this weekend's forecast cold snap, Fire and Rescue New South Wales are reminding Hunter residents to be careful when using home heating devices. Staying vigilant when using appliances and making sure to turn them off when leaving the home or going to bed are said to be important tips. Superintendent Tom Cooper says only appropriate heating devices should be used.
Over the last month, we saw 4 or 5 instances where people brought outdoor heating materials inside. We recommend that you use a heater that's been designed for the space that you're trying to heat. Make sure it's covered by an Australian standard. If possible, make sure it's got a safety cutout switch, and never ever leave it on when you go to sleep and never leave it on when you leave the house.
A parade will be held tomorrow in Newcastle in celebration of the Reserve Forces Day. The parade will leave from Lehman Street at 11 a.m. and will continue along Auckland and King Street to Civic Park, where the annual service will be held. The parade will showcase the 8th Combat Service Support Battalion, which celebrates its 20th anniversary. Port Stephens Police are encouraging the community to participate in NAIDOC Week, which kicks off this Sunday. The annual event celebrates Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander history, culture and achievement, while recognizing the contributions of Indigenous Australians to the country. Residents can get involved in a number of events taking place across the Hunter, with an online art event available online throughout the week. In finance, the All Ords is down 102.5 points at 54.85, and $1 Australian is buying 75.87 US cents.
Sport, thanks to our sponsor Warners Bay Sports Club.
Recovering from a sternum injury, Newcastle Knights enforcer Jeremy Smith is hopeful to be back on the field after this week's bye. After missing the last 5 weeks, Smith is itching to get back out there. He says having to sit on the sidelines has been tough.
It's been hard to watch, so yeah, I'm itching to get back out there and lend a hand where I can. I think we're not too far away from definitely going on a roll.
Hunter Kart Racing's annual Newcastle City Cup is on this weekend, boasting an impressive lineup of karting champions over the two-day event. Reigning champion Drew Ridge and former Australian junior champion Michael Hazelton will be among the many karters vying for the win. And in ice hockey, the Newcastle North Stars are gearing up for a big weekend as they come up against Perth Thunder in a top-of-the-table doubleheader. That's sport. I'm Thom Birch.
2 in your FM news time is 1:05.